guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? I have a car that you guys actually asked me for because you saw it in the background of another video. This is it. This is a 2022 Mustang GT. But guess what? This is an all new color for 2022 known as Eruption Green. But before we get into this mean, lean, green muscle car machine, let's talk about what's going on here. We are right on the cusp of an all new redesigned Mustang that's gonna be unveiled in September at the Detroit Auto Show. But you know what? There's still plenty to talk about with this platform. The Mustang has been around since 1964 and a half. Colors have always been a big deal when it comes to the Mustang, and you can make or break a car simply based off the color. Now, green has always been important as well to the Mustang. We all know that Steve McQueen movie Bullitt and that green fastback Mustang. Well, guess what? This is Eruption Green. What is the main big difference? With Eruption Green, there's a little bit of gold lurking behind the green that really shows itself when the sun comes out. Now, the Bullitt Mustang has come and gone. There's been special editions to honor Steve McQueen and that iconic movie and chase scene, probably the best chase scene in all of the movie kingdom. But you know what? This may not be a Bullitt, but it is green. And what I want to find out is if you missed the boat on getting a Bullitt Mustang and you want a brand new Mustang, you don't want to get a pre-owned, you don't want one that's been, you know, wrecked by somebody or just all chopped up and abused, is this Mustang GT Eruption Green close to being a Bullitt Mustang? Let's go ahead, let's find out. Should you buy a brand new Mustang GT or should you track down a pre-owned Bullitt? Let's find out with our Eruption Green Mustang. Right off the bat, that green color, it works. I actually am not a big green car kind of person, but it really works not only on my own Bronco, but on this Mustang. So, of course, this is it. We're coming towards the end of this design. Still looking fairly clean at the front end. My favorite part, of course, is gonna be how they did the daytime running lamps. And remember, the Bullitt Mustang is on this platform. One of the things with the Bullitt that this one doesn't have is the grille. So on a Mustang GT, you are gonna get a gloss black grille. That's unique to the GT. But what's interesting about the Bullitt Mustang, no pony in the center. Now this particular one has a blackout package, that black accent package. So what's nice is that the pony is gloss black, the Mustang logo is gloss black and kind of blends in pretty clean. But there is something cool about how that Bullitt Mustang Special Edition had no pony, just like the Steve McQueen car from the movie. Now, on the lower side, you do get that splitter that extends out. That's another part on the Bullitt where it extends a little bit further. So if you want to have a Bullitt, you could make some changes to the front of this particular Eruption Green Mustang to kind of bring it closer to spec. Now, the good news is when you get up onto that low slung hood, the hood is going to be exactly the same. So you got your two functional heat extractors. I love the body lines. And this is another thing with the new Mustang coming at the Detroit Auto Show. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do the hood because hoods have been very important to the Mustang when it comes to overall appearance. When we come around the bend, what are we working with? Now, what's interesting is that on the Bullitt, you do get 19-inch wheels. And on this Mustang GT, because of the black accent package, you also get 19-inch wheels. They're a little bit more narrow and they're all gloss black, whereas the Bullitt has a little bit of a machined aluminum finish to it, but it's a 5-spoke design, sort of has that torque thrust wheel shape to it, and that was a very popular wheel from American racing, especially in the 60s and 70s, were torque thrust wheels. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? So you're looking at these Pirelli, these are P0 all-season radials, 255 on the width, 40 series on the sidewall, and it's like that all four corners. You'll notice the 4-piston caliper. If you want larger calipers, you gotta go with the performance pack level. And that's another thing, that with the Bullitt, you would get the 6-piston Brembo calipers right from the performance pack level 1 Mustang. Now coming down the side, black accent like we pointed out, 5.0 badge on the side. Bullitt doesn't have that. You got your gloss black on the mirror caps. And I like the way, just like on the Grabber Blue that we featured, this has that painted roof. Not wrapped, not a decal. It's actually gloss black painted. Coming down, you got that traditional fastback design, and that's what really connects perfectly to Steve McQueen's Bullitt Mustang. And remember, that movie car sold at Mecum Auctions in Orlando a couple years ago, millions upon millions of dollars. You don't have to spend millions on this one. You can make it look like that. Working your way towards the rear, you are gonna get a gloss black, low deck lid spoiler. Bullitt Mustang actually has no spoiler because just like Steve McQueen's car in the movie, it did not have any kind of spoiler, anything like that in the movie. On the back portion, you have your blacked out GT badge. What do you have on the Bullitt? You have that round simulated sort of like fuel cap that had the Bullitt logo from the movie. And then working our way down, we do have that nice quad tip exhaust slash cut, give you a nice rumble from the 5-liter V8 engine, just like in the Bullitt. But you know what? It's mean and it's green from the back. Why don't we go ahead and pop the hood and talk horsepower numbers of this Mustang GT. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have that pesky prop rod and that ginormous engine cover. I'm hoping on the redesigned Mustang, they get rid of a big, huge engine cover like that. Now, underneath the engine cover, you do have that 5-liter fuel-injected V8 engine, naturally aspirated, pumping out for 2022, actually less horsepower. 450 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to either the GetTrag 6-speed manual transmission or a 10-speed automatic. If you compare this to the Bullitt, remember, had the intake plenum and throttle body off of the Shelby GT350 and only was available with a manual transmission. So on the Bullitt, it has 480 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque. In this Mustang GT with the A10 10-speed automatic, you're looking at 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, quarter mile in 12.6 seconds, and it weighs in at 3,860 pounds. MPGs, 16 in the city, 25 on the highway. So obviously less horsepower, but you have the option of the automatic transmission where you don't get that option with the Bullitt Mustang. Why don't we go ahead though, let's fire up this 5-liter and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this Mustang GT, and you know what? It's green. Mean and green. Now, I know a lot of you are very curious about it, and you're probably saying, well, Joe, I've always wanted a green Mustang. I missed the boat on the Bullitt. Not sure if I want to just drive a manual. I kind of like the idea of being able to have it my way, just like at Burger King. I could get fries, or I could get onion rings with my Whopper. I get to choose. So how much is this Mustang GT? So this one, having the black accent package, the Eruption Green, and then this also does have the nicer upgraded interior, not your base interior. You're looking at MSRP of right around $48,000. Let's go ahead, let's see how it stacks up to the Bullitt and what's different. To the door panels, what I do like is on this 2022 is the white contrast stitching. That's something that they added along the way with the diagonal stripes there. Just gives it a little bit of extra flavor. Nothing too crazy. Very similar, of course, to a Bullitt since it's the same exact chassis, but I do like the look of this particular one. Door pocket is a decent size. You could get that Whopper in there and you could get your extra large onion rings. Now, with the door pocket, I don't know if you'd want to put anything else in there, if you want to put a fry, because it may make just one big mess after you do that. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, You do get your Mustang badge, but remember, if you go Bullitt, you actually get a special Bullitt badge with a chassis number. So that's something unique to the Bullitt. I do like this aluminum style finish, kind of different than just gloss black or just faux carbon fiber. Everything else is gonna be the same like in the Bullitt. You do have your 8-inch infotainment system. You do have heated and ventilated seats, your toggle switches. This is something that's really different. That's gonna control your 10-speed automatic. Now you can get a 6-speed manual, but this has the optional 10-speed automatic. Your cup holders, good old-fashioned mechanical e-brake, so if you wanna swing out the back like Tokyo Drift and drift it right into a tree, you have that option to do that. Hopefully, God forbid, you'll miss the tree and just do a 360 and then ride home and have to change your shorts. But it does have that mechanical style e-brake. Nice. I tell you, I don't know what they do with the material. I feel like Ford works with Nerf to make the material for the armrest lid here because it's super soft, just like a Nerf ball. So if you've ever been hit in the head when you're playing dodgeball with a Nerf product, it doesn't hurt as much. Throw this at somebody and see if they agree with me or not. But you open it up, you got a USB-A, and you could probably put that bobblehead of Vin Diesel that you bought the night that you saw the original Fast and Furious, because we all know that the original is the best one. If you think the most recent one where they're flying in outer space is the best one, you might want to subscribe to another channel. No, just kidding. But if that's what your favorite, fine. But I like the first one. Seats, you get the nice soft leather, you get the stitching, just like in the Bullitt, and then you got the electric bottom, but the manual back, which I'm still gonna zonk that until the day I die. Hopefully that doesn't happen for many decades. Maybe I'll be over 100, who knows, still doing Rady's rides with a cane. I'll shift with my cane. And then you got plenty of headroom in here, which is nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I wanna show you behind the steering wheel that I just dripped some of my sweat on. Come on over, let me show you. All right guys, behind the wheel of this Eruption Green with my sweat all over it. But you know what? That's what you do when you work hard, you sweat a little. But plenty of space. Like I said, I'm 6 feet tall. That's how tall Steve McQueen was. I'm the same exact height as Steve McQueen. Should tell you something about me. Steering wheel. Same exact thing as in the Bullitt. The major difference is the horn button. The Bullitt Mustang, of course, has that Bullitt logo there. I don't like this pony. When they redid the Mustang logo to make it look more contemporary and modern, it looks like the horse's mane is on fire and his tail looks like a squiggly line. So I hope they go back to the classic design. Speaking of classic, you got that classic setup of gauges, analog tach speedometer, and then the digital display in the center. Bullitt, you got the full digital display. So it's kind of hit or miss when it comes between this and a Bullitt. Obviously, we got back seats. I'm not getting in them because guess what? Steve McQueen never sat in the back seat of any car. And the trunk, guess what? That's where you're gonna put all the trophies that you're gonna win at car shows and at the drag strip. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our Eruption Green Mustang GT. All right, guys, we're in the 2022 Eruption Green Mustang GT. If you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. On throttle. Yeah. Nice. That awesome V8 sound never gets old. Nice fast shifts from the 10-speed automatic. And that rear-wheel drive, that classic rear-wheel drive layout. And remember, we've been talking about comparing this to the 2019 Bullitt Mustang because of the color. Normally, you don't find green on the new Mustangs unless you were buying that special edition Bullitt Mustang. This 22 with Eruption Green really brings that color in a very, very big way. And then you can personalize this a lot more than the Bullitt, because remember, the Bullitt is a 6-speed manual only. The Bullitt also has the different suspension bits and brakes. This, if you want to upgrade, you get to choose whatever you want. Because one of the things is that with the Bullitt, it came with the red Brembos, and the red and the green kind of clash a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Christmas. This, you could get some black Brembos, or maybe even silver ones. But back on throttle. Nice. is it still accelerates super hard. And to be honest with you, even though it's got less horsepower and a little less torque than the Bullitt, because of the automatic, it actually accelerates faster than the Bullitt Mustang, because the Bullitt has the 6-speed manual, the Get-Track 6-speed, not the Tremec. Overall, seats are comfy. I like the way that this one has the optional seats that are heated and ventilated. I just wish the back portion of the seat was electric assist. You know, the great news is no matter which way you go, driving the Mustang is a great experience, and it allows you to really kind of have that connection to the past. And like we were talking about, you could be your very own Steve McQueen in your Mustang GT, even though this is not a Bullitt Mustang. All right, guys, let's see how this Mustang GT handles. Like I said, the Bullitt has a little bit wider wheel and tire, different gearing, but here we go. Never gets old. Just so smooth on the shifts, even though it's not a dual clutch transmission, and the way that it downshifts, it's very, very smooth, very purposeful shifts that I like. And I do have it in sport mode, so that's gonna obviously help with that whole transition as well. But the comfort, the ease of driving, and then like I said, the way you could personalize your Mustang exactly the way that you want it. There's really no two Mustangs that are exactly the same. All right, guys, one more time for you, definitely one more time for me. Here we go. On the brakes. Woo! Love that sound. You can definitely be chased by a white Charger in this. Hopefully, it does not have flashing lights on it. You definitely don't want that kind of Charger experience. But I'm hoping that this gave you a nice overall feel of what the Mustang GT is all about, especially when looking at the Bullitt, and especially in this new color for 2022, Eruption Green. But we're gonna get back to Walker Ford in a split second, but first, we're going around the bend, coming around the mountain. Here we go. Woo! Well, we're gonna get back to Walker Ford and wrap this one up. I'll see you in a Mustang minute. All right, guys, it's been a muscle car kind of fun day here at Walker Ford. Once again, I definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Austin, Mark, the whole crew. We did it for you. We got this Eruption Green Mustang GT. Let me know what you think. Would you be willing to go this route and then do the special touches to make it like a Bullitt Mustang? Or would you go through Auto Trader, maybe bring a trailer, maybe Cars and Bids? There's your plug, Doug tomorrow. You owe me, to get an actual Bullitt Mustang. Put your response in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. We got to give it to the man with the muscles. They call him Tripod. There's certain reasons for that. Thank you, Steven and Steven Flood Photography, for all that you do. Show him some love in that comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.